Hello everyone, today is 31st July 2023. Here I am going to discuss some important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. What we are going to discuss, that PSLV puts 7 satellites in orbit. Let's read from here. The Indian Space Research Organization ISRO on Sunday successfully launched PSLV C56, which is carrying Singapore's DSSAR satellite and 6 other satellites. What next? The DSSAR satellite is developed under a partnership between DSTA, which is representing the government of Singapore, and ST Engineering. Examples of some other co-passenger satellite like VELOXAM, ARCADE, an experimental satellite. Here we can see Scoop 2, Lulion by New Space, and Galaxia 2, and etc. Nothing much to read from this article, and it was launched from Satish Dhawan Space Center, which is in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. Come to the next article. Cell-free DNA promises to transform how we find disease in advance. What is there? What is cell-free DNA? In a variety of scenarios, some fragments of DNA are released from their container and are present outside the cell in body fluid. These small fragments of nucleic acid are widely known as cell-free DNA, cfDNA. So this is clear. Some fragments of DNA are released from the container and are present outside the cell in the body fluid. These small fragments of the nucleic acid are widely known as cell-free DNA or cfDNA. About the cfDNA, scientists have been aware since 1948, but only in the last 2 decades or so, since genome sequences technology started to become more accessible, they have really figured out what to do with that knowledge. So how this cfDNA releasing in the body fluid? cfDNA or cell-free DNA can be generated and released from a cell in a number of possible situations, including a cell is dying and the nucleic acid became degraded. That time also this cfDNA released from the cell. And since an array of process modulates the degradation, the amount, size and source of the DNA can vary across the range as well. There are a wide range of use of this cfDNA. Let's see some uses. The checking the baby. One of the most widely used application of the cfDNA or cell-free DNA has been in screening fetus for specific chromosomal abnormalities, an application known as the non-invasive parental testing. What is non-invasive parental testing? This cfDNA based technique, clinicians can now screen mothers from a few milliliters of blood obtained after 9 or 10 weeks of pregnancy to ensure the developing fetus is devoid of such chromosomal abnormalities. And this test almost 99% accurate for trisomy 21 or Down syndrome, and bit less so for other common trisomies of chromosome 13 or 18. And next use is catching a cancer. So to detect the cancer also we can use this cfDNA. See here, there are a number of emerging application of cfDNA, including in understanding why a body is rejecting the transplanted organ. Indeed, cfDNA seems to have an almost infinite number of applications, especially as a nucleic acid sequencing becomes rapidly democratized and find more application of its own in clinical settings. So here we are seeing that, can we conclude that in a true sense, cfDNA genomics promises to set us on the path of more effective disease screening and early diagnosis and on course for a healthy world. So Come to the next topic. Here is a term, horripilation. What is horripilation? Horripilation is nothing but goosebump. In a scientific way, it called as a horripilation. It characterized by small bump that develop on person's skin underneath the hair follicles, and horripilation is a involuntary reaction to the cold weather. Horripilation is an involuntary reaction to the cold weather. The most common cause of the horripilation is cold air near the skin, but researchers have also documented intense emotions such as fear, shock, anxiety, love, sexual desire, and inspirations as also having the same effect. In most cases, the horripilation is temporary, but if it persists, it could be a sign of medical conditions such as keratosis pilaris. Its symptoms include lumps that feels rough and dry and mimic the goosebump. They go away on their own or can be made to with the help of dermatological cream. Come to the next topic. States lacks response to lynching. This is a big article, so I will suggest that anyone can read this article from the newspaper, but here I am saying some important things. That in the article they talked about a judgment, Tehsin Poonawalla judgment of the Supreme Court held that it was sacrosanct duty of the state to protect the lives of its citizens. It also declared that the authorities of the states have the principal obligation to see that any vigilantism does not take place. So they can ask that Tehsin Poonawalla judgment is related to what, or if there is a question about lynching, then you can quote this judgment. Here in this article they pointed out some remedial direction given by Supreme Court to the state. So these directions are important. You can use these in answer writing. The first, that they include the appointment of a designated nodal officer not below the rank of superintendent of the police for taking measures to prevent the prejudice motivated crimes like mob violence, lynching, etc. Second, the immediate lodging of FIR if an incident of lynching or mob violence comes to the notice of the local police. And it is the duty of the station house officer who has registered the FIR to inform the nodal officers in the district, who in turn should ensure that families of the victims are spared of any further harassment. The investigation of the crime should be personally monitored by the nodal officers, and the investigation and charge sheet are filed within the stipulated period in law. And there should be a schemes to compensate the victims of such prejudice motivated violence. And last, any failure to comply with the court's direction by the police or district administration officers would be considered as an act of deliberate negligence and or misconduct for which appropriate action must be taken against him or her, and not limited to departmental action under the service rule. So these are some remedies is given by Supreme Court, which you can just remember and you can quote when there is a question about lynching. Come to the next article. This article is also very important. I will suggest you to read this article properly from the newspaper once. Here I am discussing the main points. On July 24, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman took to Twitter to formally reintroduce WorldCoin, a project of his that was eclipsed by popularity of ChatGPT. What is WorldCoin? WorldCoin is an initiative to create a digital network in which everyone can claim some kind of stake and join digital economy using a device called Orb. WorldCoin volunteers, known as Orb operator, scan person's iris pattern to collect their biometric data and help them get a World ID through the World app. And the next, has WorldCoin come to India? According to the company website, it has WorldCoin list 18 locations, largely in the Delhi, Noida, Bangalore, where orb operators are scanning people's eyes. Some locations include popular malls and metro stations in these cities. Here is the today's last article, which is a sports related news, that Indian compound mixed team Pragati and Aman Saini won the gold in the World University Games in Chengdu on Sunday. So this is for today. Let's meet tomorrow. Thanks for watching.